Y- Much better. Greetings, denizens of the interwebs. This is Jacob K. Baker for Atomic Stick Figure Productions, and this is Tokusatsu Smoke Break. Bite-sized content all in one take. Today I want to discuss the character of Bandora and her transformation into Rita Repulsa, and even Rita Repulsa from the 2017 film. Now, Bandora is easily one of my favorite villains of all time, as a main antagonist. Um, at the beginning of the show, she's like cartoonishly evil, but in the last 5 episodes, we actually get to find out why she is the way that she is. And I find her to be quite a relatable villain. See, in the last 5 episodes, uh, we are given an actual look into her past. And in ancient times, she had a son who was kind of a dick, and he was out smashing dinosaur eggs. Well, the mama T-Rex, she saw what Kay was doing, and that's all she wrote. Now, understandably, she was grief-stricken over the loss of her son, and Dai Satan saw this turmoil within her and said that if she vowed her allegiance to him, then he would turn her into the most powerful sorceress of all time, and she could enact her revenge. Which she relented, and he did exactly what he said, although he also twisted her already fragile mind even further, and actually corrupted her to where she was fully evil. And she wiped out the dinosaurs, but was sealed away in an urn. Centuries later, the urn was opened, and that's where the series takes place. Now, in the final episodes, Dai Satan resurrects Kay, or Kai. I think it's Kai. And it doesn't end well. The Rangers defeat Dai Satan and Kai. Kai dies yet again. And once more, Bandora is grief-stricken over the loss of her son. But because the hold that Dai Satan had on her is lost, she realizes the error of her ways. But it's not like they could have just been, oh, you were brainwashed, so we'll give you a freebie, you get to go on. No, she still had to be punished, so she was sealed back inside the urn. Now, about this time is also whenever Lamy and Gryffindor had their child, and she fell in love with the kid, and she regained her adoration for children. And that, to me, is just this brilliant story arc, and like I said, throughout most of the show, she's just a cartoonishly evil villain. She has a lot of personality, a lot of humor. There's even musical numbers. I love the Bandora song. But we don't get that in the US version. Instead, at the end of the series, instead of going through this, cool arc with her history, Lord Zed sends her out into the recesses of space for like most of a season, I think maybe an entire season. But Rita eventually does return, and through arbitrary means, Lord Zed and her fall in love, and they get hitched. And they attempt to take over the world as king and queen, until the Machine Empire shows up, that is, and then they hightail it out of Earth's orbit, and they just kind of appear sporadically as like little jokes here and there until the end of Power Rangers in Space, whenever Zordon's tube is destroyed and his purifying energy is sent out across the cosmos, and it actually turns Rita and Lord Zed good. And in one of the later shows, I can't remember which one it is, we are introduced to their son Thrax. I think that's his name. And relatively cool villain, but he's only around for a couple episodes, and to me he felt rather wasted because it's just a 2 episode arc that the character is in until Hyperforce. So they still worked in them having Bandora. They worked in Rita having a child, much like Bandora had Kai. Pronunciation is fun. Now, one of the really cool things that the show did was that I believe the actress who played Bandora was named Machiko Soga. I hope I got her name right and didn't just list a different actress entirely. She played various characters in other Sentai shows, mostly villains, but one of the shows she was actually a good character. And whenever that show was adapted into Power Rangers, they actually had footage of her as a good Rita. You know, this was the future Rita, where she was turned good, and that to me was just very good continuity. And I just loved that little element, and also that homage to Machiko Soga. Hopefully I got the name right. And then that brings us to the 2017 film. There's not really a lot given on Rita. She's just kind of there, and she's evil, and we don't really know why she's evil. We just know that she's after the Zeo crystals, presumably to give to Lord Zed. He's never mentioned by name. The only thing about her past that we know of is that she did kill the original Rangers, and that she was originally the Green Ranger, which was kind of a neat story element. Unnecessary, but it was, you know, clever how they actually tied her into the Rangers. And it actually does make sense given that, you know, Rita does have the Green Ranger coin. You know, so that does make a little bit of sense. But, you know, like I said, ultimately she's kind of, to me, she felt wasted because we don't really know why she is the way she is. Well, that is it for this video. So until the next video, I bid you guys adieu, and I hope that you have a very blessed evening.